established. Syncing with host computer. Beaming information.
What's going on, guys? This is Josh with Parks Rec RC, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Traxxas MAXX. It's a 2019 release, kind of the end of the year release, but it is the baby brother to the X-Maxx. Now this thing, it's the 1/10 scale. Compared to the X-Maxx, it's not going to be, as big, but it's very surprising. I've read a lot of specs and stuff on it, but I'm really excited to get in this box and go through it all. Stay tuned for the whole video so we go through everything. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys, but also really appreciate Small Addictions RC for sending me this pre-release model. It has the light bar on it, and I know that you guys are excited about it, I'm excited about it, and I think that it's going to surprise a lot of people. So let's dig into this thing. Alright guys, here's the box. We've got a 4S power system on here. That's the new ESC and the new motor. We've got self-riding, which is something that was also on the X-Maxx. We got the clipless body mounts, which Traxxas is just leading the way with that. It makes it 10 times easier than any other system that's out there right now. And of course, it's all waterproof or water resistant. But it looks awesome. This box looks amazing. Once again, big shout out to Small Addictions RC. They really made this video possible, not only for me, but for you guys. But what I'm going to be doing my run with initially, I got a 3S and a 4S in here. It's Punisher series batteries. This is Small Addictions branding. When I received these, they come with this is the 3-cell. It tells you what all the cells are on whenever they mail it to you, which is a good thing, and it is accurate. They also sent me this lipo bag, which is awesome. Like I said, I really appreciate that. Also got some pliers here from KC Tools. I'm going to get in there. I got a lot of repairs to do on the Outcast, the Arma Outcast, so I know I'm going to be using those, and I'll give you guys more information on that. But on this side, we just got some more information. Skill level 4. It depends on what you got. The first delivery version right here. Like I said, it's got the light bar on it. That's not going to come on the ones that you guys order. That is a $100 step up there, but from what I understand, it is worth it, and it's awesome that you got high beam, low beam. I think it's going to be really interesting for all you guys out there that are really into all those things, especially if you're going to be bashing at night or just cruising around, whatever. But we got the red, blue, and they sent us the orange one, which is awesome because my X-Maxx is orange. Out of the box, 55 miles an hour, guys. 55. So that is scooting, especially for a 1/10 scale truck, and the size of this thing, it's going to be great. You can obviously go step it up with a little bit. Now that's 4S. Now out of the box with the 3S, you're going to be 40 plus. You'll still be able to hit those big jumps, get that big air, but you step it up, you get you a 26 tooth pinion and a 46 tooth spur, and you'll be doing 60 plus, which 55 out of the box, nobody can complain about that. But I'm going to go ahead and unbox this thing. I'm not going to bore you with taking it out of the box because there's plenty of those videos, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing out of here, and we'll see what all is inside. Alright guys, there it is, out of the box. Already went ahead and bedazzled it up a little bit, put some Small Addiction stickers on there. Also put a Punisher sticker on there because, like I said, I've ran the Punisher batteries on the MAXX, and they are a top quality battery, and they're not, nothing in this hobby is cheap, just let me put it that way, but they're not as expensive as, you know, a Traxxas battery or something like that. So, you know, it's less expensive. It's still, you know, I think $49.95 is what they have on their batteries. That's for a 3S. So I mean, that's a great price. You really can't beat that. And I think they are 50C at 100C burst. So can't beat that at all. Alright guys, what we get in the box, you got a battery holder. That's if you're using a smaller pack, maybe like a 2S battery. You can use that in this. This ESC will support 2S, 3S, and 4S. You see some of these videos that have clickbait on them. It's got the 6S. I'm just telling you, with the 6S LiPo, you're not fitting it in this car. I'll just tell you that. Now these nuts on the wheels, they're 8mm. They're not the standard 7mm, and that's just to give you a little bit more bite on these wheel locks here, so you can have the 17mm tires on there. But you get a few Allens in there. Gonna need those. The normal warranty stuff, the blown up maps, or the blown up parts, everything like that. All the normal Traxxas stuff that they're really good about putting in there. Like I said, if you're gonna run this, maybe it's a younger RCer, it's gonna be on 2S, you're really gonna need that battery clip right there. You get your normal, what I consider the standard for Traxxas ready to runs. You got, you know, it's got stability track. You know, you can go through there and set that. If you're feeling a little wild and crazy, pretty confident in yourself, turn that thing down. If you want to think that you really got it going on, turn it up a little bit. I usually keep mine on medium, the middle 50% setting, because it helps a whole lot, especially when it gets a little squirrely in the rear end. It'll straighten it right back out. But all in all, it is a good radio. All in all, it's a solid car. Now I pick it up, it's got some weight to it. I say that thing, it probably weighs 12 pounds, something like that. That's a solid car. You do have your roll cage on the top here. It kind of came from the eRevo 2.0. That right there will save this Lexan body a lot. I'm glad to see that on there. They do have the body savers as well. Keep that body, the cage from underneath poking through there. So that's a good thing that I see on there. Of course, you got your clipless latch system. So everything looks good. It really looks like a scaled down version of the MAXX so far. Even your side impact guards, everything looks fantastic. Your rear guards that's on the rear tail there, keep your body shell from splitting and tearing. It looks good. There's the light bar. I mean, that looks good right there. You know, it's not connected to the body shell. You don't have to worry about pulling it off and having wires hanging everywhere. I mean, it's a good setup, and it's a good location. The shocks on it, pretty dampened. I'm not going to complain about that at all. The tires, they feel like good compound. You know, Traxxas is pretty solid with setting this stuff up, ready to run. And out of the box, you're going to have a good time. I mean, that 55 miles an hour, that right there will definitely hold up. The new ESC, and it has a 32 bit processor in it, which is actually supposed to help manage diffing out. It's supposed to send, you know, torque to all four tires, instead of, if you have one off the ground, it's not just going to send all the torque to that one tire. So huge step up there with that processor in there. These things are getting smarter and smarter. It's just crazy how this you know, hobby is growing. But you do have, let's see, would say 4.5 inches of articulation there, just on that alone from the front end there, which looks good. Like I said, it's nice and dampened. One thing that is a lot different than the X-MAXX is you actually have the telescoping drive shafts, which these look really beefy, so I think it'll hold really good. Whenever I first contacted Small Addictions RC about, you know, getting a test model to kind of unbox and do a review on, they had went to Vegas, and you know, the same setup that this has got, Traxxas, you know, bone stock, nothing fancy. What you get out of the box was jumping it, and it wasn't well, let's jump it 30 feet. It was, let's jump it over our semi, and they did that like 8 times. You know, the guy that was controlling the car couldn't hardly see when he landed, and he, you know, I think the 8th time he hit and broke an arm. That is durability, and that's what you get with any of the MAXX series, really. I mean, now you got the X-MAXX, now you got the MAXX, so it's durability. That's what you're purchasing. All right, guys, I just wanted to talk to you a minute about how I kind of got started into this hobby. I know when I was younger, I always had a remote control car. I had one of these little new brights that had the high and low settings. That thing would ride wheelies, and I had the most fun. And I remember that as a kid. And that's one thing that you can kind of share with your kids, that same experience. And how you can get into that is the same people that sent me these cars, Small Addictions RC, they have a payment plan to where it's interest free, and it just splits your payments up. It can be expensive getting into this hobby. So you go in there, you pick you up a MAXX or an X-MAXX, some batteries, a charger. You're looking at quite a bit of money. But you split that payment up into 4 payments, and it makes it a lot easier on you. But think about whenever you was a kid playing and just having a good time, you and your kids, or even you if you want to relive those memories. It's fun. It's a great hobby to get into. You know, I have gotten so much just love, honestly, from the RC community everywhere, from China, Japan, all the way, you know, Australia, California, New York, Texas, you know, everywhere, Canada, and everybody's so supportive. And if it wasn't for you guys, honestly, I would just be sitting here talking to myself. But you know, it's you all that has really put my brand out there, and I really appreciate that. You know, I just wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I'm at 240 subscribers, and you know, you guys wanting to hear my content, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. But go to smalladdictionsrc.com and check out their payment plans. Go in there, say you want to check out the MAXX, $529, guys, for X-MAXX quality product, Traxxas quality product. It's just the 1/10 scale. You can pick that up $529. Pre-orders are taken right now. Check it out. Hit the checkout button. Go in there, put some information in. Tell them, put it as play and pay later. Play now and pay later, and you can pick your MAXX up, and it'll get delivered to you within the United States. It's domestic. It's free. They do ship to Canada. But go on there and check them out. They have a lot of stuff, and everything is it's a lot less expensive than going somewhere else. Chris and Jody have been in the RC business for quite a few years. Chris, I believe he has about 20 years of experience with RCs, and he'll be willing to help you with anything. Call him up. Go on their website, get their phone number, contact them through Facebook. They're really quick about getting back to you with messages, and you know, they've been really good to me there, and I really appreciate them. But go on there, get in this hobby, have some fun, family fun. Talk to some other guys, get together and just have fun. Bashing some RCs, racing, whatever you're interested in. Go online, check them out. That's how you can get started in this hobby. Once again, I really appreciate them, but I appreciate you guys for subscribing, your messages, everything. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. If you guys keep liking and subscribing and commenting, like I said, those shocks, I mean, even my thumb compared to them, it's about the size of my thumb. That's a good size shock for a 1/10 scale truck. Everything in here looks really nice, really beefy. You know, you got the new setup here. It's got a cush drive in it, or cush drive for the center drive here. That's going to help with your torque and your impacts. It's not going to be slipping. There's no slipper clutch in here, nothing like that. It's all cush. You have your motor. You got a 2400 kV motor. It's a 540 XL motor. You got your ESC, which is 2 to 4S ESC. You also have a new servo. The part number on the servo is going to be 2090. And it's a new setup as well. It's a little bit, I think it's actually beefier than the MAXX servo. But right in here is where I was talking about, you know, in the ESC, that 32-bit microprocessor is in there, which controls the torque. You know, you got beefier fans on both of those, on both the motor and the ESC. You know, this is your light bar setup. You have different modes that you can put on that. This gives you a better look at the shocks. These are new also. They're the GT Maxxes is what they're calling them. It's a mix between like an MAXX shock and a GT shock. And those, like I said, they look really good. I'm pushing pretty hard. So I mean, it definitely looks good. Everything looks beefy in here. Take a tire off here in a second and show you just a little bit more of the drive shafts. Those are spline drive shafts, which are heavy duty. The center drive shaft it's a 5mm aluminum drive shaft. The cush drive in here, this is new to Traxxas as well. It's actually a 4-gear setup that has the cush setup in it. Completely new. I'm excited to get out and run that to see how it is. You see a lot of videos with this thing riding wheelies for days. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to perform really well. Everything looks good. It feels good. Feels solid. I mean, you got just enough give, but not too much and not too less, because of course with anything like this, and I'll show you here in a second, if it's not beefy enough, stuff's going to break. It's going to break anyways, but you don't want to go out and run it one time and then have to replace something. You know, I've jumped my MAXX plenty of times, and this is the same. It's just a shrunk down chassis of the MAXX. Everything underneath really looks the same. There's a little bit better view of the drive shafts there. Like I said, they look nice and beefy. But everything in here looks good. Looks really good. There's the drive shafts on the rear. But it's just front down, like I said, from the MAXX. And as far as how it looks to work on, you know, to do your maintenance, bearings is key, guys, with anything. keep your bearings going, keep them lubricated and maintenance those, you're going to be able to run for a long time. But it looks like it's really easy to do maintenance on, just like the MAXX is. It's very simple. Everything is, accessible. One big thing I can see is they changed with the MAXX is you can get to the servo a lot easier. You don't have to take everything apart and dig it out, because you don't have your receiver box pretty much sitting on top of the servo. So that's a little bit changed. You do have an over-under setup. You got your center diff here, and you got your rear drive diff right there. So it's a little bit different setup, but I think it's going to perform really well. Let's take a tire off here and we'll get a better look at those drive shafts with the tire off. And like I said, guys, this is going to be an 8mm setup on here. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There is Loctite on that from the factory, which is awesome. Another thing that Traxxas does well. There's the 17mm hole. That way you can put 17 different. If you have some, I have some trenchers down here. These are 2.8 pre-drilled. You do have your vent holes already in there, so that'll help with your ballooning. But this right here is what allows you to do that. But that is thick and tough as well. I've seen this setup before. Firebrand Tires has done this with some of their stuff that's 17mm, and it's really thin, like paper thin, and they want you to lock it down on there. Those don't last very long. This is, I can't bend it. It's not going anywhere. It's tough. It's quality. There's that setup. Like I was saying, it looks really good inside there. You got your CV joint connectors there for the telescoping drive shafts. They feel good. You can hear everything clicking in there really good. The splines even look thick. I don't know if I can capture that on camera really good or not. You can see how thick the splines are on there. They look really good. But let's put the tire back on there and test out the lights and see what they look like. Fires right up. The ESC, even on the MAXX, there's been issues with them. This one feels different. Even you got that nice little click. With the ESC, whenever you first turn it on, the fans sound really good. It's going to be loud, but you want a beefy fan on there, just so you know that your heat is being dispersed away from your motor ESC, because when you're putting 4S through this rig, it's going to put some heat out there, and you don't want to be jumping and bashing through there and all of a sudden it shuts off on you because of heat. So definitely awesome that they put that on there. Let's test these lights out. Okay. With the lights there. Oh, you got high beam and low beam. That turns them off. This can also be controlled through the Traxxas app. Let's see what we got. The rear here. Okay. So get your tail lights, and I think they actually made their turn signals also. I'll have to test that out when we go out and take this out. I know they don't really give you a really good idea of what they look like with the lights on. Oh, those sets right on there. The body, it's not the same Lexan setup as the MAXX. It's still Lexan body, but it's not got the underpaint. It's the solid form with stickers. So It's a little bit different than the X-Max setup. Alright guys, you can see right here, got the X-Max right there, got the Max. It is the 1/10 scale, but it is just as impressive as the Max is, or the X-Max is, and it'll actually go faster than the X-Max out of the box. We're going to do a test run, some bash sessions here coming up soon, so make sure you stay on the lookout for those videos. Once again, I really appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing. Hit that bell, that way you guys will know whenever I post new videos, and just keep a lookout for that. Any suggestions you guys have, put that in the comments. Email me. You can also get me on Instagram and Facebook. It's ParksRecRC on Facebook, and ParksRecRCs with an S on Instagram. Get on there, check me out. I'm posting. It's weekly that I'm posting. I answer messages real quick. So any suggestions you guys have, I'm open to a lot of things. So I just want to get on here and have fun, and I know you guys do too. So make sure you keep watching, and I really appreciate you guys.
Make sure you subscribe to ParksRecRC.